Hi Kiwi! Alright, today we're gonna go back to Chapter 3, my arch nemesis, if you will. Enjoy! Now for my, Now for the chapter that historically gave me the most trouble. Now, it seems that I already have the B-side cassette, so why don't we start here, I guess. And then we'll go find the key in there afterwards, or the crystal heart is what I'm looking for, rather. Off to a good start, I see. Is this something I can jump on? It's not. Why? Whatever. I'm trying to use the speedrun strat here. You know what? Does it actually make you have to know how to do this? It doesn't, but it would probably do me well to know how to do it, so... Almost made it there. I'm just a little too early on the jump, I think. There we go. Look at that, speedrun strat. Hurrah! Definitely wasn't necessary, but still felt good to accomplish, you know? I'm digging this remix, though. It's funky AF. There we go. Alright, first area complete. And immediately die to a ghost. Classic Jeff. Alright, so I think the reason I had so much trouble with this level in the past was because my brain wanted to treat it as a... Or I guess the reason why I'll likely have an easier time here, I hope, no promises made, is simply because of, it's because now I've kind of got the cycles in mind a little bit better than I did the first time I encountered this level. Please hold. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I needed to process things that my brain was not comprehending, it seemed. Yeah, I think I'm talking about having the cycles, yet I still got hit by the same ghost a second time. I think we're fine, though. I think I can do this pretty handily. I need to get my rhythm. My sweaty hands are not helping as they slip off the controller. I'm gripping this controller for dear life, too. Like, my hand is starting to cramp from this. But I digress. Anyway, so what can I talk about? So, I was talking about Free Run before I, like, really got lost in that previous B-side cassette, just absolutely eating everything. I will get this eventually, I promise. It's just... platforming brain and commentary brain are still at odds with each other. I may sound more energetic than the last episode, or the last part of this episode, but I promise you I'm actually way worse off in terms of sleep. I somehow slept even less than before, which is not good. I didn't even look where I was supposed to go, I just jumped, and it was a feeling, and it was the wrong feeling. Alright, let's just make this work, please. So yeah, I can definitely talk a bit more about Free Run, but I think the main things are, if anyone is out there listening to this, and you're on the fence about Free Run, which why are you? Because, I mean, it's in the discourse for everyone. If you like a good high fantasy, character-driven, but also just atmospheric fantasy with interesting powers, enjoyable cast of characters. Highly recommend Free Run. Definitely worth the time. And if you're not into high fantasy, then by all means skip it. But I definitely think, even for... I still think it's worth at least giving it a try, you know? It strikes me as a kind of appeals to multiple crowds kind of show. But it's beautiful, and if nothing else, its soundtrack is phenomenal. Oh, can't believe I made that. Okay. Oh, dearie me. I probably could have made that, but it's fine. Anyway, so yeah, Free Run is definitely worth their time. But, I mean, plenty of people have said that. It's pretty crazy. Like... anime isn't known for having great female protagonists in a lot of its shows. It's very often male focused. That's not exclusive, and there are absolutely phenomenal female leads in a lot of anime. It's just, generally speaking, at least having grown up with anime the way I have, it was always kind of male focused, or it was very male focused for a while, and I think it's starting to shift out of that now, which is awesome. But it's still set in its ways a little bit here and there. Definitely the demographic, I mean, I don't know the actual demographics, but I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of audience for anime is still largely male. But I do think there's a shift in audience overall now, where it's much more inclusive than it used to be, if you will. You see what I have to do? I just was too slow to do it. But oh my goodness, yeah, I'm absolutely enjoying our time with that show, and I'm looking forward to watching the other half of it. But what I was going on a tangent about was, it's kind of crazy how some of the best female protagonists in anime have come out this season, between both Frieren and the Apothecary Diary. Like, I can gush about Apothecary Diary the same way I gush about Frieren. Between writing, soundtrack, characters, the main character of Apothecary Diary is so much fun. Her name is Malmo. She's kind of mad scientist-y in that she loves poisons, she loves medicine making. She, as the name of the show might imply, she's an apothecary with a pretty heavy knowledge in her field, being raised by one of the, I believe, one of the former court, like Chinese royal palace court apothecaries and physicians. So she has a lot of medical knowledge, and it kind of becomes sort of a House MD-esque medical mystery murder drama sort of thing, on top of her just being on top of her being like a what is the word? On top of her being an apothecary, she's effectively solving a murder mystery. There's a budding romance between her and one of the palace officials, which is interesting. I think I've got the cycle now. Like, I can schmoove pretty well through that. Oop. I need to go low so that I can jump high on the on that last bit. Well played, Celeste. Just feels like I'm a speedrunner. It's so satisfying. Alright, so this looks kind of spooky. Well, ghost aesthetic notwithstanding, but yeah. Okay. I see a rough idea of what it is, but let's talk about a bit more about Apothecary Diary. So, I mean, I love the mad scientist character archetype. She's not like quite a mad scientist. It's not like she goes out of her way to experiment on other people. She's an inherently kind, empathetic person who is a little bit nosy, which can lead her into trouble. But Mao Mao, again, I'm talking about Apothecary Diary. She is such a fun lead. She knows her place, but she is very, very prone to getting ahead, stepping out of bounds. To oh man, I latched onto that wall. I had that. Oh well. If I can do it once, I can do it again. But she's prone to maybe overstepping her bounds a little bit, and that can be a bit threatening given her situation in a palace full of royals, where being too well known for the wrong reasons could effectively be a death sentence. And she does get, in one instance, very heavily punished for stepping out of bounds, but ultimately she was in the right. And that scene was so powerful. It was so... just the tensions were so high. It was such a fun moment, and like I mean, watching a girl get bludgeoned is not fun exactly, but you know what I mean. Like, my heart was racing. I was like, how can this episode end here? Because that show does not pull punches with cliffhangers, that's for sure. I don't think it's as egregious with them as Link Click, and I've only watched a couple episodes of Link Click so far, but I've heard that Link Click is notorious for having some of the most painful cliffhangers known to anime, and that's definitely on my list of things to watch next. I don't know why I chose to just walk there when I can jump, but or I guess not walk, but slow climb. Anyway, so what else can I say? But like I was saying, she's not exactly a mad scientist. She wouldn't go out of her way to experiment on other people, though sometimes she passingly jokes about doing that just to like upset people. But like, she can be bribed with new medicines and poisons and things of that nature, and it's really funny how much more passionate she is about those sorts of things than anything that would like improve her station in life, I guess. And it's super relatable in that regard. There we go. Alright, I'm going to apologize in advance for how choppy this video is going to end up being, but I can only, given how tired I am, I think I can only use some portion of my brain for platforming and dialogue at the same time. So I'm going to have to pick and choose when and where to use one or the other, unfortunately. So I figure I'll give a couple moments of dialogue or commentary per room if I can't clear it immediately. That way I can let you get a sense of what the room looks like, but then also I can have competent commentary as well, because clearly I cannot, on this amount of mental fatigue, I'm not capable of more than that at the moment, unfortunately. But if it gives me an opportunity to better rant about anime that I've watched recently that I quite enjoy, I'm all for that. You know I am. I mean, I've already probably said much of this already to you, Kiwi, but it's nice to have it in recording so you can listen to it again if you ever forget, or want to find an anime to watch down the road. Although, I definitely feel like, given how we're enjoying Frieren, I suspect I will share Apothecary Diaries with you as well. At some point or another, at least. Ah, shoot. Wasn't paying attention to the ghost's cycle. Okay, we got it. Okay. So, back on the topic of Apothecary Diaries. So, I will say the main romance interest for Mao Mao, quote unquote, is a bit of a creep. I know we watched Raeliana. How did Raeliana end up at the Duke's mansion or something like that? And I wouldn't say, I mean they're both creeps in a different way, but the male protagonist, the male lead, the potential romantic partner for the main character is definitely a bit of a creep, and he knows it. But he's kind of in a privileged status given his vocation, so he also doesn't necessarily know better. That doesn't excuse his behavior by any means, but it does at least give him a degree of... you can rationalize why he behaves that way, and furthermore, it's more so you just... I think in part he likes to tease Mao Mao because he sees how uncomfortable it makes her. But he clearly also gets very possessive over her. He gets jealous of other men who he might view as potential suitors. I don't know. It's a little uncomfortable dynamic, but it does get better over time, I would say. Anyway, I hear you returning to the downstairs to join me, so I'm gonna pause here and we'll pick it up in a little bit. Alright, Kiwi, we're picking up where we left off. I'm hopefully sounding a little bit brighter and more awake. I promise you I am not. It's been like 4 days since I've played this game last, and so I'm going to be super out of practice. But I did, because of that huge gap, look to see what I was talking about last time, and I refreshed my memory. I was gushing about the Apothecary Diaries, and I'm more than happy to do that again today, because I just watched episode 23, which was fantastic. Oh, gosh, how am I supposed to do that? Timing's very tight, I bet. Whoops. Alright. But I'm gonna try and avoid spoilers as much as possible because this is a show I absolutely want to share with you one day. And it does have a murder mystery vibe to it, so to spoil things will detract from your potential future enjoyment, you know? But what I will say is, effectively, there's a character that's sort of been built up to be a villain of sorts. You don't really understand why, but you get like the direction of the show has painted him in a negative light, and so you assume he's going to end up being this big troubling villain. But then they have an episode where they just do a complete total rug pull from that notion, make him far more sympathetic, his backstory way more tragic. And it worked so well. His relationship with the main character is very strained, let's say, given the circumstances, but it just feels bad what actually happened. Oh, what am I doing? That was kind of fancy. It's just, it wasn't the direction I expected, and I'm so happy it went that way. Oh, we did it. Okay. That took some brain. Alright. So, anyway, gushing about my Apothecary Diary. Like I said, they make this character far more sympathetic than he strictly deserved to be, than we could have possibly anticipated him being. And it completely recontextualizes the last couple episodes that have painted him. Like, the directing on this was just so good. They intentionally just made him look like a villain, when in fact he was kind of this tragic, flawed character, but a victim of circumstance, not a victim of his evil machinations. And yeah, it was... what a reveal, man. And I was talking about the characters. I know I mentioned the male counterpart to Mao Mao, but the supporting cast is all around very strong. I love Mao Mao's father. He's just this cool, kind-hearted, level-headed physician, apothecary. He clearly cares for his daughter, and I don't know, their dynamic is really fun too. Mao Mao is obviously a kind of, I wouldn't say free spirit, but she's fighty. She's very fighty, and so she'll always kind of have some retort against her father's advice, but she often listens to him regardless. Like, she's a really good person. She's just she has an impish nature, if you will, especially when it comes to anything relevant to her personal interests. But it makes her very fun and very relatable in a lot of ways when you see her act that way. And then the advisor to the main the male protagonist is very fun. He is also a very level-headed individual, but he's a little bit more prone to just being like, this is nonsense, and he can't say anything because it's not his position to say, but you can tell he has moments where he's just absolutely fed up with the main characters, but because he's a supporting role, he doesn't really get a choice in the matter, which just makes his whole relationship with the two main characters even funnier. The characters centered in the murder mysteries are fun to see interact and bounce off of the main cast as well. They're a little less interesting because they're kind of just there and then they're gone sort of characters, unfortunately. But that doesn't make them less interesting in the moment. But as a whole, Apothecary Diaries is absolutely a show that I'm both looking forward to seeing more of. As far as I'm aware, it's an ongoing... It may be a manhwa. It may be a manga. I'm pretty sure it is Chinese in origin, not just because of its the nature of its content. I do believe it was originally written from a Chinese author, but got adapted into an anime. If I'm wrong, I apologize for that. It's not something I've actively looked into. But I definitely am going to check out the source material when the anime ends, because I'm not going to be satisfied waiting for a season 2, although given its overall popularity, I'm very confident it will get a season 2 eventually. Just nothing has been announced yet. Hopefully soon, though. I would love it if it was soon so I can know how long I have to wait. In the meantime, another bit of exciting news, Konosuba Season 3 comes out this coming, what is it? We're entering spring, right? this spring season, which starts in April, so only a little bit to go. I'm looking forward to it. I guess we still haven't seen the entirety of it, but I've watched the whole. I was just rewatching it with you. For some reason, we turned it into our exercise show along with Attack on Titan, and one of these is very much not like the other for what you watch while exercising, you know. But kind of funny that we made both of those our exercise show. One for if we want to like be super serious, and one for when we're exhausted or emotionally drained and don't want to have more of that weighing on us, so get something comedic in nature. Regardless, though, I'm looking forward to finishing both of those series. It's crazy to think Attack on Titan is finally over after having how many final seasons, you know? Oh my goodness, there were so many final quote-unquote final seasons of Attack on Titan. It was becoming a bit of a meme, to be honest. At least it was a meme in my eyes. Nice, okay, another room down. Alright, I think I see how to handle this. I wonder... No. I doubt there's anything over here. No, there's not. Okay. I think I'll just use my dash to get up there. Maybe I might be able to save my dash. I wonder if I have to, actually. No, I don't think I do. Oops. I am way too early. This cycle does not brain well with me. It's because the first blob starts low and then goes. Okay. Do that. Alright, I have to be quick here. Whew. Unless maybe I'm supposed to dash over it? It'd be tight, but probably doable. Nah, I just have to wait. I'll just wait for this one. There we go. Come on. Come on. Oh my goodness, that room was challenging for me. Okay, completely lost my train of thought because I just, like, sunk a hole. Felt like a decade worth of minutes there. Obviously not, but... alright, so, what else can I say about the Apothecary Diaries that I haven't already? Or wait, no, I was talking about getting excited for Konosuba. Now I remember. Our weird workout routine animes that we chose. Yeah. Another anime I'm interested in watching at some point, I don't know with or without you, I don't know whether it will be with or without you at this point, is Vinland Saga. I believe it's also done by Studio Wit, which is the same team behind Attack on Titan. So, you know the production value is going to be pretty substantial. Oh, I think I need to save that dash. Maybe. Let's see. Don't know what I expected there. But yeah, Wit Studio is absolutely killing it. They are making production after production that just absolutely slams. Obviously, the two big names I mentioned were Attack on Titan and what's it called? Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga. I think they're doing Frieren. I'm not convinced. I'm forgetting who did it. I'm forgetting who does Frieren at the moment. It may not be them, but it's. I know Wit Studio is definitely a name that's a group of people that have made a name for themselves at this point. I could be entirely misspeaking as a whole. I'm not very good at names, but I know for a fact that Wit Studio, either way, even if it doesn't make the ones that I'm listing off at present, they do some pretty darn great work. I'm not sure why I didn't jump to the left there, but okay. I think I've got it at this point, though. Maybe not. Yeah, I think if I just delayed the dash there, I'm fine. And here, if I do that, yeah, there we go. Now please jump to the left, Madeline. There we go. Okay, perfect. Cleared that. Alright, we're outside now. I forgot there's eventually going to come a point where we start getting chased by Mr. Oshiroe. Presuming that's going to make this a lot more difficult. But, ooh, my arm's cramping. Hold on. Sorry about that. I scratched my back in a weird way and my muscles disapproved. How does one even get through this? Okay. The timing's tight, but it's not impossible. Actually, the timing's fairly forgiving. The spacing's a little tight. But I'd still say forgiving. Yeah, I have to be a lot faster than I'm being if I want to have my jump juice, or my climb juice last. That's fine, though. I think I can still do this reasonably well. There we go, see? And there's a Gnocchi screaming for food. Oops. I almost had that one. Can I blame the cat? I can't blame the cat, right? Oh wow, we're already out of climb juice. Rough. Just gotta go fast. Sonic speed. Yeah, so I don't know terribly large amount about Vinland Saga. I know it's kind of Nordic in nature, I believe. I think it's actually set in Canada, but it's clearly biking inspired. Second. That looked pretty fancy for a moment there. I wonder if this is one where I need to conserve my dash. I'll try and see. Okay, actually, no, I see a dash refill there. So I should be fine if I use it a little more aggressively in that middle part. Or there. You know what, I see where I need to use it. Okay, fair enough. Thought I could outspeed it. Oops. Well, I think the long story short is there are so many anime that I'm looking forward to either watching myself or watching with you, Kiwi. That's pretty much the cliff notes of this entire conversation, I suppose. Oh, that was fancy. Nice, we got it. Well, I guess other things I can talk about. So, since I finally finished Legends and Lattes, my next book I'm going to read is A Psalm for the Wild Built. I don't know very much about it at all, but it has it seems near Automata-esque in terms of, like, post-apocalyptic world featuring sentient robot types. How does one even do this room? Maybe this? No, too slow. I think what I need to do is when these guys go up... Oh. Okay. So I need to fall with them and then dash. I gotcha. Oh, the timing on this is super tight. I don't like that. Alright, let's try. There we go. Alright, so I have to just do that 2 times. Possibly doable. Actually, this one's way more forgiving because I just have to dash when they're up. Never mind. Okay. I think I got the idea, though. Oh, I don't even need to dash. This room is messing with my brain something fierce. The timing is super tight. I think I got it, though. Mostly. Alright, what happens if I just go right away? Yeah, I knew it. Speedrunners. A lot of them. There we go. I figured if I jumped there, I'd be okay. If I didn't jump into it, I'd be fine. Alright, so at least for the first one, if you just keep going, you'll be in sync with it. This game was built for speedrunners by speedrunners, it feels. So, since that's consistent, I don't have to worry about that. Well, that was as consistent as I hoped. Gotta try and not hit the wall there. Okay, fair enough. Remember when I said Chapter 3 I would probably do better if I did it again on this? I lied. I was so wrong. I was so blatantly wrong. Wow. It hurts, Kiwi. I'm so bad at this. My gosh. I don't know why this chapter in particular is so rough on my brain, but it just... I cannot dodge these things meaningfully, or like, well, at all. I just can't. Alright, I'm gonna try and take this like a speedrunner. Just keep going. No, that's not gonna work. I have to wait. Alright. Turning brain off, turning go mode on. In the meantime, what can I talk about? Preferably not jumping into these ghosties. There we go. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can't do this, Kiwi! I'm just so unbelievably bad at this. Wow. Oh god, we're done. Okay, thank goodness. There's still so much of this level left, isn't there? Oh, this looks like a lot of... Oh man, this room is huge. Oh, those... Okay, those fall. Good to know. Alright. This room actually doesn't look nearly as bad, or isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. Somehow. Alright, if I take that low, I can definitely make it. Yeah, you just have to pause a second before you do your dash, and you're fine. Ah, timed that one wrong. I think I had to be a little faster there. There we go. Now we're on the right cycle. Whew. Clench my butt cheeks a little bit for that. Nani? Okay, there we go. I guess this is the representation of when we break open the wall, probably. Or, yep, okay. There's Mr. Oshiro, hooray! Alright. Well, that means we're on the home stretch, at least, I guess. We probably have to use him to platform at some point. Not sure when, but soon enough, probably. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading a Psalm of the Wild Build. I don't know very much about it, but it came to me highly recommended from you, and we both picked it out at the on that fateful trip to Barnes & Noble's when we also found Legends and Lattes. So I'm hopeful I'll enjoy it, and going by what you said your experience was in our general similar tastes in media, I suspect I will. Oh wow, I didn't even use my dash on that one. Oh, I must have jumped... Whatever. Oh, you reset your... I see. You reset your dash if you jump off of his head. That's good to know. That'll probably be really important later. It would be lovely if I could get past this one section that really should not be as difficult as I'm making it. I'm borrowing my platforming brain 1 second. There we go. Oh, I'm out of climb juice already. That was quick. Why did I run out so fast? Maybe you just... I doubt it, but maybe you run out of it faster when you're on ice. Or it seems like jumping there is a problem, so maybe I need to hold out and head bump the angry Oshiro. Yeah, I must have to regenerate my climb juice on him that way. Blech. Or I guess I could go for the diagonal there, and that would probably work. I thought I could get him there. Maybe it's either the ice walls I'm climbing on have inherently faster reduction of climb juice, or it could just be a matter of I lose climb juice a lot faster after I've used my jump. It's probably the jump. Alright, I think I've kind of got this figured out now. If I go fast enough and skip the wall on the left, then I can get through here pretty reliably. There we go. I just need to make these jumps. Oh my god, I did it. Oh, that took far too long. Oh, there's a wall. Hello. Okay, I'm too tall to get under here, but if I crouch, I'm fine. Okay. Fair enough. I guess I see. I have to... Alright, I don't know if I have the brain to both talk and run this at the same time. I'm going to try and have the brain, though. And what's the best way to keep my brain about me? Probably, probably gushing more about anime. So I was talking about the Apothecary Diaries. Maybe I'll talk about the intro and outro. So, the Apothecary Diaries definitely has The Apothecary Diaries has two openings that is split between the first and second half of the first season. The first opening I absolutely loved. It's very, like, it feels powerful almost, I guess, is how I describe it. The beat is, or not the beat, but the core melody is very powerful. It feels, and it centers around Mao Mao dancing a lot at the latter part, which I'm not as into the dance, but I don't know. There was something that I really enjoyed that song. It was to the point where when the second season, or the second half of the first season started, and they changed the opening, I honestly took a break from the show because I was just like, I missed the opening too much. That's not the first show I've done that, where like an opening or an ending was like a song that just resonated with me so well that I lamented when it changed. The other example, unfortunately, that I can think of off the top of my head was Shokugeki no Soma. Oh, hey, I made it. It was Shokugeki no Soma, which I think you're at least familiar with enough to know it's effectively food porn, the anime. But, I mean, this is going to sound really stupid, but cooking anime and cooking shows in general make me cry pretty often. I don't know why I get such an emotional connection to them, but I really, really do, and it's kind of funny in a sad, pathetic, but kind of like, it's uniquely me way, I guess. But the first ending of Shokugeki no Soma just resonated something fierce with me, because it's just, it's a combination of the song itself that I really liked, but the animation as well. In the ending, it's all of the main character, like the majority of the main cast, eating together at this big dinner table, and it's just like all of these little, each of the characters are doing like a little simple animation, but it's very uniquely their character, like, so it kind of defines who the character is and how they are portrayed in this animation. Also, this feels really fancy, just gotta say. Like, I feel like if I could maintain it at least. But fun, a weird design to use these the jump gems, or the jump regeneration gems this way. But anyway, I digress. The ending of Shokugeki no Soma, it resonated with my core for some reason. Just seeing all the characters just enjoying a meal together. And when the first season ended and that ending was gone, I honestly dropped the series. I haven't watched it since. I tried watching like maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and I just couldn't get back into it. And it's weird. It's weird that that's how I feel. I guess another anime that I could think of, which I absolutely continued through because the opening wasn't the only reason why I watched it, but I was very sad when the opening changed, was Your Lie in April. What a fantastic show. Definitely up there with like Angel Beats and Clannad for me, for like stories that I was very invested in the characters and emotionally distraught by the ending. That's one we haven't watched yet, actually, that I highly recommend, but we both have to be like mentally and emotionally prepared for it, because I don't think currently we are. But it's a very nice, it is a beautiful anime in terms of music, in terms of like people finding their place and their relationship to those around them. Of course, it's a coming-of-age story of some nature, and it almost feels like it's going to do the classic anime thing of... Well, actually, I don't want to go this route because it inevitably spoils the ending. Needless to say, the ending hurts, but I'm not going to tell you why or how until you get to experience it with me. But yeah, Your Lie in April is definitely up there in terms of anime that I objectively love, but it's weird. This season we have been eating well for good anime. Not just fantasy anime, but anime in general, but this, especially the season for fantasy anime, between Frieren and Delicious and Dungeon, like 2 of the best fantasy anime to come out in recent history. Oh, I hear it. Oh, we've made it to the end. I can do this, Kiwi. Okay, I see. The spring becomes active when with the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I've got a rough idea of the beat. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and forth between the springs. That's nasty. I have to start by actually hitting the spring. This is gonna take a bit. I'm bad at beat rooms, my goodness. Well, while I'm waiting, I guess, what I was gonna say is the main issue I have with quote-unquote fantasy anime, I guess it's the aesthetic I'm most drawn to, which is probably why I enjoy isekai so much, but I openly acknowledge that a lot of the fantasies of modern age are isekai or isekai adjacent, so they fall into the classic trappings of power fantasies with large harems of females that are obsessed or in love with the main character, and so their narrative and world building can feel a bit lacking. What am I supposed to do here? Nope, okay. But, I mean, that's the shortcoming of fantasy and isekai in the modern age, so it's so incredibly refreshing to see fantasy settings that are flushed out, have amazing world building and characters and stories that aren't just the bland, predictable, cookie cutter power fantasy that a lot of isekais are nowadays. Man, I am enjoying Free Run with you, and we haven't gotten super far into Dungeon Meshi, but we are going to keep watching it. It's somehow become our workout anime. Look at her, she's like falling off a little bit there. That's cute. That was actually really easy. Okay, we did it. These B-sides are so hard, but Chapter 3 is just the antithesis of me. Good karma, Chapter 3 B-side complete. Hooray. Oh my god, that was miserable. Okay, Chapter 3 and I just don't get along very well at all together. Hooray, we did it. Yeah, there are gonna be a lot of deaths on this one. Let's not talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, okay? Only almost doubled what I had before. It's fine. Everything is fine. Alright, Kiwi, I'm gonna end the episode here, and we'll pick up in the next one, where things somehow are even worse. That said, though, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.